Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Let's talk about something that's been making waves recently. The special counsel Jack Smith's report on former President Donald Trump and the events surrounding January 6th. It's a topic that's deeply connected to our democracy and the way we understand justice and accountability. Whether you've been following this story closely or are hearing about it for the first time, there's a lot to unpack. To start, the report is a detailed account of an investigation into allegations that Trump and his team worked to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Now, the heart of the findings lies in evidence that Trump used deceit and pressure to challenge the election results. From pushing state officials to alter vote counts, to trying to replace legitimate electors with fraudulent ones, the report lays out a series of actions that prosecutors believe undermined the democratic process. What's especially striking is the conclusion that had Trump not won the 2024 election, there was enough evidence to convict him at trial. This statement isn't just bold, it's unprecedented in how directly it calls out a former president's alleged actions as criminal. But because Justice Department policy prohibits prosecuting a sitting president, the case had to be dropped once Trump was reelected. So, let's pause here for a moment. What does this mean for the average person? Why should any of us care about legal jargon or procedural rules? Well, this isn't just about Trump. It's about ensuring that no one, no matter how powerful, is above the law. The report emphasizes the importance of protecting the peaceful transfer of power, something that has been a cornerstone of American democracy. And when that process is disrupted, it affects all of us. Moving on, the report also tackles a common claim made by Trump and his legal team, that dropping the charges equates to exoneration. The special counsel was firm that this isn't true. In fact, Smith's report explicitly states that the decision to drop the case was tied solely to Trump's election win and not because the evidence was weak. That's an important distinction to remember when we hear claims of being fully exonerated. Another key takeaway is the Supreme Court's role in shaping the outcome of this case. Legal experts agree that Trump benefited from a landmark ruling that expanded presidential immunity. This ruling significantly limited the evidence prosecutors could use and delayed proceedings to the point where the election outcome rendered the case moot. It's a reminder of how much influence the judiciary has in shaping political and legal outcomes. And then there's January 6th. While the report didn't charge Trump with incitement for the Capitol riots, it doesn't shy away from laying blame. Smith argued that the violence was foreseeable and that Trump's actions, particularly his speech that day, contributed to the chaos. Yet, without direct evidence of intent to cause violence, prosecutors didn't feel confident adding that charge. This decision shows how difficult it can be to draw a line between free speech and incitement, especially at the highest levels of power. Now let's talk about accountability. Over 1,500 people have faced charges for their roles in the January 6th attack. Smith's report argues that the person most responsible for the events that day, Trump, shouldn't be exempt from scrutiny. But as we've seen, the legal system has its limits when it comes to holding leaders accountable, especially when politics come into play. So, where does this leave us? Smith's report doesn't just tell the story of an investigation. It raises bigger questions about the balance of power in our democracy. How do we ensure that our leaders are held accountable while respecting the checks and balances in our system? And what can we learn from this moment to strengthen the rule of law for the future? As we wrap up, I want to hear your thoughts. Does this report change the way you view the events of January 6th or Trump's actions around the 2020 election? And what do you think about the Justice Department's policy on prosecuting sitting presidents? Let me know in the comments, because this is a conversation worth having. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Stay informed, stay curious, and as always, take care.